Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, but there are many other disabilities, and in order to capture what types of disabilities we have in the territory, a needs assessment survey is being completed in both districts. News 2's Erica Bivens explains why all Virgin Islanders are being asked to complete a survey, whether they have a disability or not.
Julian Henley has been paralyzed for the last 4.5 years, a life-changing experience that forces him to use a wheelchair, but it's allowed him to witness firsthand challenges faced by those who are disabled.
Well, accessibility is a major problem, and it's not only getting in and out of buildings, it's getting in. You could go to some restaurants and you can't get to the restroom. You can make plans to do a lot of things and you can't get to those buildings.
Although more places are becoming accessible, there's still a long way to go. And that's one of the reasons why all Virgin Islanders are being asked to fill out a needs assessment survey.
Persons with disabilities as well as persons with no identified disabilities to complete the general public, because we believe that that is the best way for us to get an understanding of the needs of the community.
The one-page survey is completed every 3 years, and participation could help with increased funds to the territory.
This needs assessment needs to be completed by the beginning of April. We are hoping to conclude the survey portion by mid-March, and then we will begin to compile all our data to forward it to the federal government.
The sensitivity of educating people without disabilities or landlords or different people throughout the territory is going to be a great effort, because I think learning about that and learning how they can assist us, I think that step will make a difference.
Both Blyden and Henley say educating the general public will help with sensitivity and increase advocacy to help bring about change.
They're normal people and just have a challenge. And so we need to find ways to better serve these individuals.
For News 2, I'm Erica Bivens.
Now, surveys will be available at Tutu Park Mall on Saturday and at various post offices on St. Croix on Sunday. You can also call 714-1395. Surveys were also attached to government employee checks on Thursday. Well, the VI Police Department has identified the person who died Friday in a fire that destroyed a part-wood, part-masonry home on Commandant Gade as 31-year-old Onassis Vanterpool. However, the investigation into what caused that fire is still ongoing. At the scene, firefighters found the part-wood structure engulfed in flames. They fully extinguished the blaze in about 15 minutes at the house listed as number 10 OV Commandant Gade. Administration officials at All Saints Cathedral School evacuated the campus as a safeguard because it was nearby. No other structure was threatened or involved in the blaze. News 2 will keep you updated. On Thursday, Governor John P. DeYoung Jr. says the first tangible effects of the federal budget sequester will likely be felt in the travel industry and will impact the millions of passengers who visit the territory. He also stated that the most notable impact will be increased wait times at our airports as well as marine ports. Several federal programs under the Department of Planning and Natural Resources will also take a hit, to include beach protection, pollution control, public water system supervision, among others. DeYoung says commissioners and agency heads are developing plans to offset the losses in the Departments of Education and Human Services as well. Turn our attention across the seas. North Korea is threatening to launch a preemptive nuclear strike against the United States. The statement came just before the United Nations Security Council voted this morning to impose tougher sanctions against the country for its recent nuclear test. Ines Ferrer reports from the United Nations.
Stroke 136. Please raise their hand.
The United Nations Security Council voted unanimously on a new round of sanctions against North Korea in response to its third nuclear test last month. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Susan Rice says the sanctions will make it much harder for North Korea to pursue its nuclear program.
The entire world stands united in our commitment to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
Tens of thousands of people rallied in Pyongyang Thursday in support of North Korea's stance against the U.S. and South Korea. Kim Jong-un's regime threatened the United States with a preemptive nuclear strike, saying Washington is pushing to start a nuclear war against the isolated country. At a Senate hearing, lawmakers responded to the threat.
I don't think that the regime in Pyongyang wants to commit suicide, but that as they must surely know that would be the result.
The United States drafted the Security Council resolution along with China, North Korea's closest ally. It targets the money and banks used to supply North Korea with missiles and other weapons.
These sanctions will bite, and bite hard.
The success of the sanctions could depend on China, which supplies North Korea with most of its food and fuel. Meanwhile, U.S. troops continue to conduct military drills in South Korea, something that has angered the North so much it has threatened to scrap the 1953 ceasefire that ended the Korean War.
That was Ines Ferrer reporting. A winter storm has brought coastal flooding along the Jersey Shore, an area still recovering from Superstorm Sandy. Flooding from Thursday morning's high tide is lingering in Seabright, Monmouth Beach, Abiscon, Aberdeen, Egg Harbor Township, and Wildwood. Northern New Jersey faces the possibility of 2 to 4 inches of snow from Thursday night into Friday morning. Scattered power outages remain mainly in Cape May County. Yesterday's snowstorm caused electrical problems all around central Virginia, meanwhile, and power crews have been out all morning trying to restore power for residents who have gone without for more than a day. Crews have seen down lines due to fallen trees, and they're trying to fix those problems. However, it has still been rough for residents who are still without power. And keeping our eye on the economy, Ford is recalling 230,000 minivans to fix ruts problems that can cause the third row seats to come loose. The recall affects Ford Freestar and Mercury Monterey's from the 2004 through 2007 model years. Facebook has unveiled a new look for its news feed that adds more personal touches. There is now more space for photos and videos. The redesign also gives users more ways to control the types of posts that appear in their feeds. The changes are Facebook's attempt to keep users on longer so the company can sell more ads. This is the New York Stock Exchange, the Scotiabank Stock Market Watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 33, Nasdaq 9, S&P 2. Coming up on News 2. Some events in store for International Women's Day. We'll tell you all about it. Plus, these students have not only found a way to launch their careers, they are keeping that momentum. And they say the sky's the limit. Details coming up. The Good Hope School wrapped up their annual science fair Thursday. It's the 13th year that Good Hope has been affiliated with the prestigious Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. There were more than 90 student projects in 12 categories. The projects were judged Wednesday by local scientists and were on display Tuesday and Thursday for the public, where the science students gave other school group tours to explain the exhibits. Natasha Sibios and Aliyah Alec were the top winners, who will head to Arizona in May to compete internationally.
In May, we're taking 6 students to the International Science Fair. 2 of them will be presenting their projects along with 1,500 of the smartest science students in the world. 2 are coming from Good Hope School, representing the Virgin Islands. The other 4 students will be observers. There'll be support. They do community service while they're there.
I'm beyond thrilled, not only because it's an amazing experience, but I actually was able to go last year as the first place winner, and I know all the amazing things that I'm going to get to experience and do and be a part of.
Congratulations to the students. Now, students in the Elena Christian Junior High School Rocketry Club blasted away their handmade rockets on Wednesday to qualify for the Team America Rocketry Challenge, where over 3,000 students nationwide will compete to be rocket champions. The students get to learn firsthand about rocket science, and some are already considering careers in outer space. News 2's Janisha John brings us more.
Future rocket scientists from the Elena Christian Junior High School took to the field today despite gusty winds to test out the second trial of their handmade rockets to qualify for the Team America Rocketry Challenge.
So we did our second official launch today, and it was, with a backdrop of very hostile weather conditions. So today our rockets did not go as high. The students, they are somewhat disappointed, but that's rocket science.
Though gusty winds prevented the second trial from meeting the qualifications for the TARC program, the students plan to go back to the drawing board to get ready for a third launch, giving the students more hands-on experience for careers in science.
They are really doing well, and all of them want to pursue careers in science and mathematics. As a matter of fact, some of them want to become the next astronaut.
And with rocket launches to space on the students' minds, the recent meteor crash in Russia, though shocking to many, has piqued the interest of the rocketry students.
Really and truly, the students came back and told me that they were fascinated with it.
When I heard about it a couple of days ago and watched it on the news, I was like,